Good morning. Today is Friday, December 9th, 2022. 20,000 delegates from 196 countries are gathered in Montreal now for COP15. That is the United Nations Conference on Biodiversity, meeting now here in Montreal through December 19th. Experts estimate that there are about 1 million of the world's species facing extinction today. And the rate of extinction is higher than ever before. And of course, once a species is gone, it's gone. It's extinct. Allison Haynes wrote, "The stakes are high. The expectations, though, are far from great. But hope burns strong." We approach this as concerned citizens of the world and as students of Torah. And I'd like to share with you a curious mitzvah in the Torah, in the parsha of Emor. The Torah says, "V'shar oseh," concerning a kosher animal, "oso ve'es beno lo sishchatu b'yom echad." We're not allowed to shecht, to slaughter, to take the life of an animal and its young, the mother and the child, on the same day. Now, there's a very strange requirement because we are allowed to take the lives of kosher animals in a specified manner for necessary food. We're allowed to take the life of a mother and then on a different day the child, or vice versa. But we're not allowed to shecht, to slaughter, to take the life of the mother and the child on the same day. And this is a mitzvah that applies today. The question is why? It seems hypocritical. I mean, once we're taking the lives of animals, what should it matter what the family relationship between those animals is? So the Ramban, Nachmonides, provides us with two answers to this question. Both of them have very important lessons for us. Number one, the Ramban quotes Maimonides in Moreh Nevuchim, Guide to the Perplexed, who says that animals feel sadness. They feel emotion. And just like we are not allowed to cause sadness to another person, we are also not allowed to cause sadness to an animal. And if it were permitted to take the life of both the mother and the child on the same day, it is possible that it might happen that one would do so by taking the life of one in the presence of the other. And that would cause upset, sadness in the animal seeing its mother or its young's life being taken. And so we're not allowed to do this in order to be careful not to cause sadness to animals. And that's a powerful lesson that each of us should absorb and implement in our lives. But then the Ramban gives a second answer. The Ramban writes, "Shlo yatir hakosov lasos hashchosha lakor hamin." The Torah, although it allows us to take the lives of animals for legitimate reasons, in legitimate ways, to use species of the earth for human needs, legitimate human needs, however, the Torah does not allow us to do so in a way that would cause a species to become extinct. There is a specific Torah prohibition against causing a species to become extinct. And so the Ramban writes that by extension, if you take the life of an animal, you have to be careful not to upset the balance of nature, even though you are taking the life of the animal, again, for a legitimate purpose. But if you take the life of the mother and the child, you are actually causing that line to become extinct. Of course, that's not the whole species, but that is a family line. In a certain sense, it's like a minor form of extinction, which the Torah requires us to protect. So that even though we are allowed to make use of what is in the world that God has provided for our benefit, we are not allowed to do so in a way that causes a species to become extinct. Listen to these words of the Talmud, Masechta Shabbos, Rabbi Yehuda Marav. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Kol Masha Bara Kadosh Baruch Hu Ba'olamo, every single thing that God created in the world, Lo bara davar echad levatola, not a single species is created for no reason. There is a purpose, there is a reason for every single thing that God has created, animal, mineral, plant, everything. And if we are callous with it, and we lead to the extinction of something that God created, that means that we are showing not only an indifference, a callousness, and a lack of gratitude for what God has created for us. And not only that, but we are losing some benefit, even if we don't know what it is, because nothing is created with no purpose. We are required by Torah law to protect species at risk because they are here for a reason. And the reason, ultimately, is us. Another specific prohibition in the Torah, in the book of Dvarim, Lo sashchis es etza. We are not allowed to unnecessarily cut down a fruit tree. And this leads to a wide category of prohibition called bal tashchis. We are not allowed to waste anything in the world, regardless of who it belongs to, regardless of its apparent utility. We're not allowed to waste any resource in the world. But listen, please, to the words of Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch, writing in the late 1800s in Germany, but so applicable to us today. The prohibition of the purposeless destruction of fruit trees is to be taken as an example of general wastefulness. Under the concept of bal tashchis, don't waste, the purposeless destruction of anything at all is taken to be forbidden. So that the bal tashchis of our text, this mitzvah, becomes the most comprehensive warning to human beings not to misuse the position which God has given them, us, as masters of the world and its matter, to capricious, passionate, or merely thoughtless, wasteful destruction of anything on earth. Listen carefully to these last words. Only for wise use has God laid the world at our feet when he said to mankind, subdue the world and have dominion over it. Only for wise use. And this is a practical application of a much more broad principle near the very beginning of the Torah, where the Torah says, Vayikach Hashem Elokim es ha'adam, vayanicheu began Eden, and God took Adam and Eve, and placed him in the Garden of Eden, la'avda uleshamra, to work it and to protect it. Writes Rabbi Hirsch, the whole moral behavior of mankind in acting and refraining from acting in accordance with this duty is a fundamental principle of humankind's responsibility to work the earth and to protect it. Our rabbis give us a background conversation of this verse. B'shah shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu es Adam Harishon, when God created Adam and Eve, natlu ve'achziru al kol ilane Gan Eden, when God placed them in the Garden of Eden, God took them on a tour of every tree, every plant, every item that God had created in the Garden of Eden for us. Amalei, and God said to man, Ra'ah Masai, look at my actions, look at my creation. Kamanoim umeshubachim heim, how beautiful is the earth, how praiseworthy is the earth. V'chol masha barasi, and everything that I created, God says to man, Bishvil chabarasi, I created it for you, for your benefit. Tein daitecha, be careful, be aware, be on guard. Shelo tekalkal v'tacharives olami, that you do not mess up, or God forbid destroy my earth. She'im tekalkel, because if you mess it up, ein mi she'yataken acharecha, there is no one to come after you to fix it. It's your responsibility. It's our responsibility. And if we mess it up, if we allow species to become extinct, there is no one to come and fix it after us. May the delegates now in Montreal be successful. And may we all heed the Torah's essential message to protect the biodiversity God has placed in our care. My friends, I want to wish you a great day and a wonderful Shabbos, and I look forward to seeing you soon in person.